Good morning. This is an audio morning brief. It's July 26th. It's 7:51 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Rich Posson for Critical Point. Last night, the model said the level 4 downtrend that began on Friday should not end till 6 a.m. Eastern Time today on through the day. So this can be a down day all day, and it ought to be pop a little, at least overnight, into tomorrow a little bit. But the point is, it could bottom as soon as, say, 6 a.m. or later. So the model's given us an estimate of how long it will take them to sell enough and to where the buyer will step in and start to bring prices higher again. So last night, when the market showed a little firmness near the opening, we actually had a signal that it would probably go still lower during the night. It did that, and not only did it do it, but it came within about a cent or so of our minimum downside objective we showed you last week of 532 for the December corn futures. So very pleased how the math, the science, as well as the art, the model, the calculations, even the technical worked. Now, even though it's near that minimum target, we're due for a level 4 bottom. The point is there's still time for selling, and I'm thinking they ought to have a day session round of selling still. And if you look at it, the market has popped over the last hour or so a little bit. And so we're just now into that time frame. Look for that bottom, but the point is you don't see an actual stab down. I think this is a clue that even though they're buying it here in recent minutes, they're probably going to sell it during the day session. So I think there's another wave of selling coming, but I don't know for sure. If we start seeing prices move up to around 547 today, I'm assuming the level 4 bottom is in place. Now, if they are going to sell it some more today, it may be they're going to put it deeper into the range that I showed you last week of 532 to 522. Now, with this level 4 bottom, this is the first opportunity for the larger level 3 trend to bottom. Therefore, the level 3 related trader has also been selling and has forced the level 4 trader to have more of a bearish bias because the level 3 trader is more important. They can weigh on the market, all right? The market is oversold daily, suggesting, yes, the model is correct and looking for a short-term bottom. The next top probably will not show up till next week. So we know we're setting up for a few days of net buying. It's coming, all right? But does it come from today? And if you feel as though the weather is not bearish enough, the crop condition rating tonight's not going to be bearish enough, if you think you got reason to take advantage of this selling, go ahead. You may be right. Because the model really this morning can't show us, will the bottom be placed the earliest allowed, which is actually ideal, or is it going to be placed around Wednesday or so, which is also ideal, or is it going to be still later that it's actually going to be a down week, which is not ideal? So tricky here, where is the bottom? Frankly, I'd rather see some selling this morning, a bounce maybe into the next overnight session and down by Wednesday. And then if we're still not feeling aggressive enough, convicted enough to call the level 3 bottom, then what I would do is if price starts rallying above today's high or tomorrow's high from that next level 4 run-up, then I could get more bullish and say, okay, we probably found a bottom. That's just a little pattern we use sometimes for entry. Okay? So if you want to probe the upside, go right ahead. It's oversold. I just got to warn you, we really don't have enough here. That's like if the model was a person, it's really not in the mood of calling the bottom right now. I think it's going to take a little longer this week. I think we have to start thinking in terms that we've had a year now that a lot of these trends spent far more time going up than down, and now we're in a long-term bear market. We're probably going to see an evolutionary process towards spending more time going down than up. And I wonder if we're not seeing that right here, right now. I'm going to give them a chance to do some more selling later this week. I'm not making a level 3 call. I just have to tell you, everything is right and proper for it. If you see a reason to go for it, go for it, okay? So the point is there's still downside potential even though this market's oversold, but it might be rather limited. And yes, it's due later this week into next week for a bounce. Looking out 2 weeks from now, it's probably going to be back down again. but we also have to consider range trade, okay? I still wonder if they won't be rather reluctant to be outright bearish until they see that August report and get at least that yield number, and to get a clue of how August is going to finish, at least for precipitation in terms of how the ears are going to fill out, as well as how's the weather impacting the soybeans, okay? So the bottom line is I'm bearish into harvest. I think prices are going lower into harvest. Along the way, we may see a bounce late August, early September for corn and beans, then down in August, but it's probably going to be a weak bounce. Inside of that down move then into August, meaning I am still bearish into August, that down move is going to have these level 3 ripples, twists, and turns. The level 4 is going to cause the little twists and turns and ripples inside the level 3, and the level 4 cause the ripples during the week. I think ultimately, yes, looking out a week or two, we'll see a bounce in these markets, then right back down again. And the key is, where does that bounce start? And I think it starts this week. May start today. My guess is it's going to start a little later in the week. But again, if you're feeling bullish, go for it. Now, you can do the same thing for soybeans. We really don't have enough evidence here that it can put a level 3 bottom in, even though it's more developed on the soybean side than, say, the corn market. It could bottom easier on the soybeans right now. So keep an eye on it. And I'm trying to refresh my mind here by bringing up a chart on the November soybeans. It's definitely oversold. It's not extremely oversold. The level 3 is far more developed and running later now than corn, so it would tend to increase the odds that a bounce is coming for soybeans maybe a little bit sooner, better than, say, corn. Nonetheless, there is no evidence of a bottom in any of these markets. The wheat market could be the most bullish yet over the next few months compared to corn and soybeans, yet it looks like it's willing to follow corn and soybeans down. I just don't find evidence of a bottom. So the bottom line is, look for level 3 bottoms in all 3 markets this week, and they may occur today, but my gut feeling is we get a little pop, right back down again, then I can get more confident, more aggressive to say we're going to get that level 3 bounce into next week. But again, if you see anything today that makes you want to buy, go right ahead. I may be a little slow on this one, picking the bottom. No fresh news on the outside markets, global markets, no change from the weekly update made last week with the video. Have a great day. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results.